Hey everybody, and welcome back to X's4 Podcast. This is the Daily X, where we bring you news, information, and discussions about your favorite Marvel comics, most notably the X-Men. I'm Nico, and you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at NicoAction. That's NicoAction. And in this next segment, Rod, Raven, and Dante bring you guys the conclusion of our amazing Planet-Size X-Men discussion. This book was just one issue that changed Marvel Comics forever, and we couldn't stop talking about the amazing art, the amazing storytelling, the ramifications that are going to reverberate throughout the X-Men for the rest of publishing, hopefully. But until then, guys, we hope you enjoy this next segment, and if you do, don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe, and until then, we'll see ya.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next segment of X's4 Podcast. I am Rod Savage. You can find me at Rod Commodore at Twitter and Instagram. That's RODCOMMATHE. And today we have with us the ridiculous Raven.
Wow, bitch! I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna go ahead and remember that for you. Hello, it is Raven, aka Dame Red Bento. Feel free to come on over and find me and talk to me, because I have an opinion on everybody or everything, and give me something. I'll review it. Trust me, I love giving opinions on shit. And today we also have the dangerously daring Dante. How are you doing today?
Oh, thank you, Raven. What an introduction. Hello, everybody. This is Dante, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Inferno Magic. That is magic with a K. And I will throw it back over to Rowdy Rod.
Rowdy Rod. All right, today, y'all, we're talking about the earth-shattering, planet-making, planet-sized X-Men. Giant-sized X-Men changed the world about 50, 60 years ago, and now planet-sized X-Men changed the universe. So, it was by Gary Dugan, is the writer, Pepe Larraz is the artist, Marty Garcia is the color artist, and VC's Clayton Cowles is the letterer. Now, this issue set fire on X Twitter that morning, as I knew it would.
Yes.
This beautiful, amazing, super special book by two amazing artists that really show how glorious this book is. But today we're going to say what our favorite parts were. Raven, I'm going to put you on the spot first.
Oh, God. What's going on? I wasn't paying attention.
You have to pick your ultimate favorite part of Planet-Size X-Men. What would it be? Ultimate Planet-Size part.
Okay, well, I can't pick one part per se, but I absolutely adored being introduced to the mutants who would be helping to terraform everything. So, Latuka the Knower, Subnar of the Depths, Zelo, the first defender of this broken land. Like, that was so cool to get introduced to some more mutants from Morocco, Amenth, whatever you want to call it. It was so great to actually get to meet more of them and see them, like, do this, because we're so used to our own mutants doing whatever they want and creating Krakoa and doing this, that, and the other. But it was so beautiful to see it done in such a very different way on a planet-sized level, using mutants who desperately needed a safe home. So, to me, I'm just like, I'm going to be here crying. Oh my God, they're terraforming everything. I love it. But yeah, that was my favorite part.
I definitely love that. I mean, when the Summoner of the Depths, like, cut their wrists and got amplified by hope and, like, made the whole ocean of the planet, talk about glorious.
The Rocky Mutants were the moment. Like, they just hit it. Oh, so good.
It's amazing. It was this. I mean, I know if you're not like the hugest X-Men fan, you might read this and be like, what is happening? I don't even care. But like, if you're a hardcore X-Men fan, not even hardcore, just fly by either way, you're looking at this and being like, this shit is fucking wild. They just created a planet, or terraformed a planet in less than a day.
Even if you just like seeing mutants that are non-humanoid looking, this is definitely your book, because it's not the same mutants that we've seen before. It's they're drawn very differently. Everything about them is different. I love it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no matter what your fandom is in the Marvel universe,
Mhm.
like this is a moment. Like this is a
Yeah.
defining moment for mutants, and it's going to affect the entire Marvel universe. Like there's no
Absolutely.
way that this can be ignored.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's I mean, this is one of those issues. Like everybody should own this.
Exactly. It was just like they said, Marvel wasn't playing. This is just like Giant Size X-Men. Especially like 50 years from now, this is definitely going to be
Oh,
one of those books that people have. I recommend it to a lot of people that don't even read X-Men but like read Marvel. They're like, oh, I haven't been reading the X-Men titles, too many books, I don't like
oh,
it. I'm just like, shush, shush, shush,
yeah.
shush. First of all, go read it on Marvel Unlimited and culture
Mhm.
yourself, first of all.
Right.
And then second of all, get Planet Size X-Men if you're going to do anything else and read it, and that will hopefully inspire you to read other things of X-Men, because I've had people that I had someone message me and they read it and they were like, I don't understand, what's Arakoa, why did they get a planet, why didn't Krakoa get the planet, I don't understand. And I'm like, you need to go read the books, but also
Right.
if you don't want to read everything, at least go read X of Swords, because
Mm-hmm.
then you find out what like the whole deal of Arakoa is. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's perfectly. Yeah, no, that's exactly. I was like, but no, that's exactly it. I'm like, no, those were the words. Those were the words.
Those are the words. Dante, we did Raven's favorite part, and I feel like a lot of our favorite parts are probably gonna be the same anyway. But
Exactly.
if you had to like pinpoint like a certain thing, if you had to like look at these pages, screenshot it, and post it on Twitter, what would you post?
Raven did kind of steal my point. Like the mutants, the Iraqi mutants are amazing. So I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna go to the slightly more ridiculous part of the book, because I feel like so much of this overall book was just gorgeous, beautiful, quiet, powerful moments. And then we had this amazing, ridiculous moment when Monarch births a new sword station, and I'm just like, this is so stupid, and I love it.
Oh my freaking god!
Like basically Quentin and Jean impregnate Monarch with an idea, and he is so literal that he gives birth to a sword too. And I think it's so funny, so ridiculous, and he's like so he's oddly like excited and happy about that. Like he's not upset at all, he's just like almost pleased with himself. So he's a very proud papa. Happy Father's Day, Monarch. But yeah, that I mean that was probably one of those standout moments in this book, just because everything else like had that, again, like kind of that quiet powerfulness to it. This was like loud and ridiculous and beautiful at the same time.
Oh,
True.
definitely. This threw me for a loop. Like we all kind of guessed that they were going to take over Mars. We
Yeah.
all were like, "Oh, Arakoa getting the planet, that makes sense," you know.
Mhm.
But Jean and Quentin Quire being like, "Oh wait, we got an idea," and
What was Earth gonna do with it? I mean,
like,
couldn't even get to it. So,
no, they couldn't. Humans are going to get to that for like another 100 years or so. But
right?
I just love that, like, Gene and Quinn were like, "Oh, we should build another space station, right?" And then he just bursts out of his stomach and doesn't. First of all, it doesn't even kill Monarch, which is a testimony to him. Like, we know he's on mega level; he can manipulate reality, obviously, because he birthed the space station. But I didn't technically realize how powerful he was. I guess, and this was definitely a show of that.
Honey. He had the heal team right next to him. He had heal team 6.
I mean, true.
I should say heal team 5 right next to him. Like,
I mean, that's true. He survived because of that, because of hope and
yeah.
elixir. But still.
Yeah. But also, I looked at the wording of that and I'm like, wait, have you thought about your words? Because you are talking to a demented, very much scattered, chaotic reality bender?
Mhm.
Ripper? I don't know what you want to call it, but you're telling somebody who can rip apart reality as he sees fit and can take Mr. Sinister's cape from him. You're telling him some very literal words. So the moment I saw that, especially the way it was drawn, like that idea being implanted, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be messed up real quick.
Yep.
I'm like, ooh, that's aliens, but in reverse. Oh. It was so good. It was so good.
A little bit in reverse. I guess it is reverse because he doesn't plant an alien. It's a spaceship. Okay.
Yeah. Spaceship comes out of the man versus the alien comes.
I get you. I was like, wait, it's looking out the stomach. I do love that he makes the port too, and it's really cool. I'm like, man, this planet is getting done up.
Oh yeah. I mean, they've got a space station. They've got gates. They make medicine. They're doing, all this kind of stuff. It's been completely terraformed, and like, there's an ocean added, and the soil is actually now living. And like, oh my god, they did so much, but it's so good. And Storm brought the weather.
I know. Okay, so that was my favorite part.
All right.
That was my favorite part. I will celebrate everything Storm for the rest of my life. There's so much to celebrate in this book, and we can also talk about that real quick because we got time. We'll do it. It's whatever. But I just love, especially Bobby too. Both of them really showing out on how they're Omega level mutants because we know they are. They've shown how they are, but like, doing this on a planet, really in this big book that everyone's gonna read, and they're really showing off. It really made me happy to see, like, this strong black woman and like this strong gay man really being the corner of the main like X-Men mutants doing this for this planet. Like, it was everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They did so good. They did so good with this. Like, love everything about this. Like, the art was gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's so
the art, the colors,
and so like, well thought.
Ridiculously good.
Yeah, Pepe Larraza and Marty Garcia are gonna be just stoned in one of the best artists of this generation for books. It's just, I feel like every one of these pages could be hung up in a house, and people would just be like, "Wow, that's beautiful!" Every single page.
Right? It's
yeah,
so gorgeous.
And Rod, to your point, like I do love the way all of the Omega mutants are showcased throughout. Like, everyone kind of gets their moment to shine, which is really cool. Magneto is the driving force, but like, we see, Bobby step up and do his thing in a really showboaty Bobby way, which, great. And then, I mean, Storm, without any words, right? She's just that presence. And then of course the Iraqi mutants, who I absolutely love now and I'm obsessed with, and I want, like, stuffed animals and t-shirts with them on it and everything.
I know, right?
Like, it's really great to see all of these old and new mutants characters getting the spotlight. Like, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I even like it that we get, some of the Summers family get to help. Like, Hope is a power, like, at the battery for all of it.
Yeah,
but not for Storm and Iceman, for the other ones. And Vulcan does some good stuff because he we don't get to see Vulcan do a lot, and he's just kind of there, and now he actually matters that he's here, so I love that. It's like,
wait, Summer's family, I mean, yeah, I guess Jean was sort of there. No, I just
Hope and Vulcan are Summers.
Hope and Vulcan, yeah.
No, they're competent and they don't whine enough or have enough interpersonal drama.
Raven, I actually don't think you read enough of them because they are both pretty whiny.
Hope is definitely whiny.
Okay, yeah, a little bit whiny, but also look at who their father is.
I mean, case in point. Cable and Scott both helped raise Hope a little bit. She did not learn.
She didn't have a chance. She didn't have a chance, man. I'm just saying. No, but I kid. No, it was really great to see not just family, but also found family, like, coming together, and newfound family coming together to, like, really make this place what it's going to be. And, oh my God, that last page, that last reveal, chef's kiss. So good. Right? So good. I can't wait. I want to see so much more. So much more of this.
Oh, yeah.
So much more of this.
I want to go back one thing, or another thing. We might go back another one after this, too. Just an insane moment that I've seen people online, even Jordan B. White with the X-Men Mondays, talk about it. Yeah, like when Jean and Exodus teleport in with the other Omega mutant, teleporter mutant that knows everything.
Lactuca? Oh,
Hmm.
Gateway.
oh no,
Yeah,
no, that
no, I think it's Luca. Yeah, Lutuca,
Lactuca?
Oh,
Lactuca.
Latuca the Noir.
Yeah, and they teleport Ara Arakoa to the planet. I mean,
Ugh,
it
so good.
it shouldn't make sense, but it does because it's a mutant power and it's glorious. It's just I didn't. That's one of the things I didn't expect either. I knew they were gonna get everything to the planet, but I didn't know how, and I didn't know it was gonna be like that. And that just looks so scary, but also very beautiful.
Right. But I mean, it makes sense, and I love the fact that they've been outside of this particular show. I love the fact that mutants have been working on more fastball specials where they combine powers and synchronize and see how they can amplify each other. Like Hope was doing a lot of amplification of powers for different mutants. They're working together to figure out, okay, how best do our powers work? And so that would be the perfect thing. If you have somebody who can do large transportation, but they need to know exactly where shit is, and they can't even be off by a quarter of an inch, then yes, taking a mutant who knows where literally everything is located within the universe so that you can't miss is probably your best bet. Like, honestly. But yeah, it was so interesting that they decided to use the powers in that way, and it came out seamless, and I loved it. I'm like, oh, thank God, because honestly, yeah, no, you miss and accidentally drop this giant continent-sized thing in the wrong area. Oops, we just took out an entire mountain range and opened up a few volcanoes on ourselves. That's not good. Like,
We just killed all of Arakoa. That wasn't the plan. Oh my god! Can you imagine? Oh my god! Oh, anyway, I can't.
right? Like,
Don't even think
oops,
about
we dropped it in a volcano. It's not an acceptable excuse.
Give it a few years. Someone is gonna come along and try to like kill off all the Iraqi
they,
mutants.
I will. You know what? I'm not even gonna
They
say
can fight me.
it.
They can fight me.
Speaking of the Iraqis, I love that. I mean, the Iraqi people are basically the people of color mutants, like the black mutants. A lot of them we've seen have been black mutants or just non-humanoid mutants at this point. So I love that we get, Apocalypse and Genesis, the statues of them, because they are like the parents of that island now, planet. Now, Raven, as a fellow black person,
What?
Oh my God, you're black? What?
Sorry, I had to.
Everybody, Raven just looked into a mirror for the first time in her life.
She's like, my
I'm
God,
what now?
I'm what?
Sorry. You were saying.
How do you feel about like this kind of being like a representation of black people getting their reparations, like getting their own planet after they, helped their Krakoa? Like, it's not really a metaphor for that, but when I was reading this and saw Apocalypse and Genesis have statues of themselves, I was like, this is kind of that. They might not even planned it as that, like the writers, but I was seeing it as that. Now, what you think?
See, I don't think that it is reparations. I think that this is much more like when the Black Panthers set up patrols and did their own thing within the black community and very much eliminated the need for outside presence such as police, because police were corrupt and they were killing community members and harassing them and whatnot. I look at this much more as Araco is the Black Panthers, and they've helped the rest of the black community or people of color come together, coalesce their own spot that they can then police and interact with, and everybody there is taken care of, which is exactly what the Black Panthers did. So to me, this feels much more like the late 1960s-ish era where, yes, a place has been set up of our own making to give ourselves a safe place to be and be who we are and just be free and joyous about it. So I see that as a good thing because they have a place where they're not going to be persecuted. But I also see this as a bad thing, or I know it's going to be a sticking point because you now have people who are going, what? They're on Mars? They're colonizing Mars? They can't do that. It's like, it's not your planet. So I can see where the tension is going to come in, possibly from the human side. But
Absolutely.
again, this is something that has happened in history before. So I love how they've taken the analogy and kind of twisted it a bit or
Mm-hmm.
rotated it a bit, because it still holds really, really true. They're gently turning it so you can see it with fresh eyes, and I love that.
Yeah, I think Gene even kind of helps to kind of clarify that too, because I think Rocco deserved this, right? Like there, I don't think there's any doubt about that. They deserved this, but they needed to also feel like they earned it. It did need to be their Omega mutants helping to make this happen, to being really integral to it. Otherwise, it's going to feel hollow. Like, it's going to feel empty. And the Iraqi, as we've seen, are very proud people, and they're strong. I mean, you don't want to fuck with them. So like, of course, like if they're gonna take a planet, like they're gonna take a planet, and if it wasn't Mars, it might have been Earth. So like, people need to realize that like this is actually a really good thing for everybody involved.
Yeah, well, and I kind of loved it because they're like, we're not asking you to hand us anything. We'll take it by force if
Yeah.
we need to. But we also believe in working the land and doing something with the sweat of our own brow, which is what they have been doing this entire time. So it was great because you kind of see them being debriefed and taught how to transition into more civilian life. So their victory, instead of it being at the point of a sword, was on the blade of a plow. So like they won by creating something, not by having to kill something, which I love.
Yeah.
That is awesome, and I love that they stick true to how the Iraqis.
I call them
Iraqans?
Iraqi.
Yeah, Iraqi.
Iraqi.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what I've seen the most, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how the Iraqi, I like how they keep the Iraqis' nature like still with themselves. They're not like, oh yeah, you can come visit Mars or whatever. They're like, no, no, no. If you step off of like the Lake Hollis diplomatic ring, then you face their laws, and their laws are harsh because they're a war type people because they did that for thousands of years. They don't know another mindset. Their war now is with hope, like with peace, because they have to reset their mindset to not always fight. But I like how they're like, no, this isn't a vacation spot for people. This is their planet, and you have to go to that diplomatic spot if you want to visit there, or else, like, because this is like their new home. You don't just go there just because.
Oh, I'm so excited to see how many Earthers fuck that up, like need to be rescued.
What about I don't know, the Shi'ar Empire?
Ooh.
Because tell me those little weasels won't try and come in and pull some shit in the Iraqi. You're just gonna go, oh, I'm sorry. I think you just fucked around. Time for you to find out. Like, I love the fact that they're a hub now, because who's gonna show up on that planet and be a jackass when you have that many Omega level and very powerful mutants who have not one day had to take bullshit just lying down. They've been taught to fight with it. So it's like, we're trying to be nice and peaceful over here, but if you want to start some shit, we got a couple thousand years on you. Let's do this. Like,
I actually feel like the rest of the universe might really respect the Iraqi. Like, I feel like, I feel like it's going to be well deserved, and I think that people, other extraterrestrial races will learn to respect our planet, our the solar system, because of that.
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the other aliens or creatures in the solar system respect mutants a lot more than they respect humans. Like the Shi'ar respect the hell out of the mutants. Like they owe Storm a favor because she helped them in that one X-Men issue recently, or months ago,
Yeah.
but like
Oh
recently in
yeah, yeah.
the timeline. So I mean, that's why I also think that's why she'll become like the soul, the Regent of
Regent.
Soul. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Regent. So I think that's going to be Storm, because also Hickman said that he's going to do something with her, and I believe his next book, it's still a question because they didn't want to give anything away. I think it's going to be about the planet. So
100% agree. Because I'm still thinking about the Storm's tarot card from X of Swords, where it very much looked like she was leading a people, and I think that could be the Iraqi people.
yeah. And it makes sense because she's leading the dead, and they were supposed to no one thought they were alive. They thought they were dead. So they are technically, the undead or something. I don't know. They represent that because they were thought to be dead, but now they're not. So,
Yeah, no,
I'm pulling straws at this point, but
no, I absolutely agree with you. Not even just because of the X of Swords, but because, I mean, she literally brought the weather to this planet. She is a mutant who is also a great representative for Earth, but also for mutant kind. She knows diplomacy forwards and backwards. And she can also beat the living shit out of somebody, whether she has her powers or not. So I honestly think she's going to be great as like my first choice for Regent, simply because she has proven herself over and over again, and her decision making skills are like wonderfully done. Her tactitional skills are on par. Like, she would be probably one of the perfect people to do this for or with, because she's got the strength, she's got the power, she's got the mind for it. And I think if she has to go through a crucible like event, that might be the compromise that she has to make. Is like, okay, well, you're going to be going here. We need you to do a crucibles to show these people, especially the people of Morocco, that you are willing to die for your cause, that you are willing to lay down for this planet. Because if you're not willing to sacrifice yourself for this planet, which is filled with mutants who have been sacrificing themselves for thousands of years in order to make sure that they continue on as strong as they can be. Like, I think she's going to have to show that she's willing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that at all. They might do that. I'm not sure. I know she's really against dying, because who isn't? But
I do recognize that.
Right. In this day, in this time for the mutants, a lot of mutants are like, oh, well, I can die. It's fine. I'll just be brought back. She's like, no, my life means something. But that would mean something if she died for that. So,
yes, absolutely.
I have to wonder, though. I mean, in my mind, I feel like maybe the Iraqi people already respect Storm because she defeated death
without powers.
So like I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that exists because they respect strength, and I would imagine that anybody who could defeat one of their warriors would be respected.
I wouldn't want it. I honestly don't want it to be anybody else unless it's an like an Iraqi. Then I would then fine. But like if it's somebody from Krakoa and it's not Storm, I'm gonna be like, why? It needs to be a good. It needs to be a really good explanation, like a really good one. Because I know some people were like, oh, well, what about Namor? And I was like, no. First of all,
do you want them to blow up our planet? What's wrong with you? He would be the last person you'd want to send.
He barely runs Atlantis right. So that's a city. Not even talking about a nation or a planet. Like, come on. So, yeah. I mean, some people.
Ooh, you can talk to fish. Ooh, you're kind of strong. That's great. Do you run more than that little city? No? Oh, you hide as deep in those waves as humanly possible? Okay. Right. You went ahead and locked away your cousins into the depths of the sea? Right. Really? Ooh.
No. Plus, he's disrespected Krakoa so much, so it doesn't make sense anyway.
No, let him show up. Let him show up. Let him step 1 foot off that ring. I'm sure somebody's going to be right there. Iska's going to be ready to take them toes. Just fish sticks.
I do want to say, like, one of the last things I wanted to say for this, because we already talked about it, but I just wanted to make it prevalent because I think they put it in here because of like what people would probably say after reading this, and it's kind of like what Dante said about what Jean said. But this is the other redhead, Hope, and the other psychic, Quentin Quire. Quentin Quire basically represents like the trolls on the internet, being like, well, Krakoa beat them, and we kicked their asses. So why are we giving them a planet? And I like how she's like, well, you're an Omega level telepath, but you are really small minded sometimes, because there's like, if the Iraqi haven't fallen and fought, there wouldn't be a Krakoa or a planet. Mars is a debt paid.
Yep.
I love that. Yep. And everyone, if you're a logical person, you already get that. But I'm glad that they put this page in here because that needed to be said. It needed to be outwardly said and not just like for
Contextual.
context clues. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you. And of course, it's Quentin Quire that's going to say that. It's Quentin Quire. Like you know that he's going to be this way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's. I love that a question was posed because I'm sure there was people who were going to ask it, and it is answered. And I love that because it's not just why are we giving them 40 acres and a mule?
Yeah.
Oh, let me explain something to you. Like this, they gave you the explanation, even though it didn't need to be given. They gave you the explanation, so you can just go. That's why. That's why you don't get to question this. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't exist. We wouldn't have been able to survive. We would not have been able to build the way we do. We would not be able to bring our own back. Like, there are reasons, and they made good. They may have been in contest with us at one point, but this is all good. This needs to happen. So shut up, Quentin.
Yeah, I mean that's the tagline, right? Shut up, Quentin.
Right.
But yeah, that is. Do y'all have anything else y'all would like to say before we send off?
I can't wait to see what happens next, honestly. Like, if they could just make, like, about one of these a month, I'd completely fine, That's a reasonable schedule, right?
That's usually Hickman's MO. I feel like this book is going to be about the planet. Because, he went off the main X book. There's no reason he would leave the main X book if it wasn't for something bigger. Because he's the head of X. So it has to be. It just has to.
Yeah. I'm also really excited to see where we go from here. I mean, I think, if anything, there's been so much amazing groundwork laid for some spectacular stories. And I'm excited to see and hopeful that we're going to get some, people building off of these, these great little seeds and nuggets that we're getting. So, and I hope to see Storm get her prominence because she deserves it.
She deserves it, and it's been a long time.
Long.
Hey guys, if you like that cut from X's4 Podcast, you'll be sure to like some of our other materials. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out these other amazing videos here at X's4 Podcast.